I'm changing who I am. I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again.
You ain't see me activated. You better hope that you never see me agitated. I think about my actions, plan them out, evaluated. That's how I end up on the top, man, I'm calculated. My mind's a weapon, my body is the engine. I'm never second guessing, I just do what I was destined. Cause I feel I got the blessing, persistence and obsession. That's how you keep progressing, I already learned that lesson, yeah.
I'm changing who I am. I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again. You can't stop what's moving. You can't stop what's moving. I'm changing my life, and I won't look back ever again.
No fear, see clear, you deserve to be great. I know it feels like things get in your way. Push through those walls and the others will fall. Sit up, stand tall, you can get through it all. I need some energy, anxiety's no friend to me. I have a short memory, I don't really remember things. That's how I move on, that's how I stay strong. A new day's on, I'll keep moving right along. And I feel like the pain in the past, it needs to stay in the past. You gotta take off the cast. I wanna feel like I'm a new person. I wanna have clear vision and purpose. And I feel like the pain shouldn't last. If you can move on and past the things that make you feel bad, and you can change in your brain, I'm certain. I've done it before, and man, I'm not perfect.
I'm changing who I am. I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again. You can't stop what's moving. You can't stop what's moving. I'm changing my life, and I won't look back ever again.
I've got an itch I can't scratch, I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me, an open wound scar to see. Everybody come here, gather round, welcome to the freak show, the best in town. What the hell's wrong with me? I don't get along with anybody, honestly. I've been living in my own head constantly, thoughts jumbled round, think I need a new lobotomy. Wait, all these thoughts are too negative. I don't wanna get lost in the sedative. Gotta show them what I got, I'm competitive. You know I'm about to go off, I won't let them win, I'll take a stab. I wanna chase a bag, I wanna weigh, I can change all the things I lack. I gotta face the facts, I got a taste in that. Got me obsessed with the rest, I got an itch to scratch. I'll give up everything. A daunting thought. If I could see my dreams, I'll make things right. 'Cause I'll do anything to make what I want a reality. Don't let go. Don't let go. I'll make things right. 'Cause I'll do anything to make what I want a reality.
I just wanna find a way out, sick of the venom in my brain. Running from the past, wanna escape my pain. I just wanna be a better person, I deserve this. I just wanna break these chains. Always asking for greatness, true to myself, I never fake it. Seen too many ones that are so they get famous. And when I say the truth, most really can't take it. In spite of everything I've been through, I'ma make it. Fake friends, but on my downfall is toxic. Day one, started to outlaws for profit. Now all I do is write verses, no talking. All I do is put the work in, no option. This was everything I ever wanted. Created a legacy off of me, just being honest. And the fake ones hate, but it's all to no avail. They wanna see me lose, but you know I never fail.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on the shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode, and I'm your host, TradeFly. Hope everyone is doing well today. You know what? We can make errors, and I am live, so there's no takebacks here, no takes backsies. But hope everyone is doing great. Market is moving a little bit in a positive direction, but again, we do have some resistance over our heads, and that seems to be the name of the game almost every time we get on this show. It's rinse and repeat. We get up towards a resistance or a key level, and we don't get an opportunity always to catch these moves. But that being said, 85K seems to be a little bit of a line in the sand. We'll look at that on the charts. Maybe we will take a little trade today. We shall see. We're also going to look at the NASDAQ, some of the traditional markets, and see how the correlation has kind of remained for price action. We'll also look at some USDT dominance. I know that is a big topic of discussion with people these days. And let's get over to the chat. Say what's up to everybody. And this is why I do it. All right. And of course, I've got all of the polls. The everything is in the way. There it is. All right, it is gone. Alexander G's in the house. What is up, lady? How are you? Jessica Luke, what's up, my dude? Good to see you. Good to see you there. My dude, Ada Ace, what is up? Let it drip, bro. Let it drip. Thanks for being here, brother. Hit the like button. I appreciate it. Who else we got in the chat here? Scrolling down. We got my man Buck. What is up to you? You know the rules of Fight Club, buddy. You know the rules of Fight Club. Harp, what is up to you? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Fly. I'll just say fly. I won't say the rest of it, but I hope all is well with you, man. Good to see you in here. Mike Play, what is up? Sup, fam? My dude. Darren does things. What is up, my guy? Ayo Brigade. There it is. Full Boltard. I love it. I love it. That is the question of the day here. What is the sentiment? Just on a little temperature check of the room. Are you guys full Boltard or are you pipe bear? Pipe bear. You guys know if you know, especially if you watch the Piper Academy. All right, scrolling down here a little bit more. I think I got all the call outs. I think we're good here. Let's go ahead and start getting into some news. I'm going to go ahead and flip this music here. That way we get something a little bit more chill with no words, so it's not overtaking me. And I will pump that up just a little bit here. And here we go. We're about to be off to the races. We're going to do our top-down analysis first, and then we will get this thing going. Let's go. As you can see, I have flipped the script on you once again, and I have changed up my setup. I just didn't like it. It was a little bit too thin, and I felt like it was like too zoomed in on me. So when I went back to watch, I was like, I don't really like that. But look what I have done down below. I got you guys a ticker. So you can see the live prices now. Hope you guys enjoy that. It wasn't too hard to set up. I will thank Army Piper for that. He sent me the link. All right, so top-down analysis of Bitcoin. You can see it hasn't changed much. It's like the same thing over and over again. We have been here. This is the daily, right? So here we go. We are on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of pretty much being in the same spot. I mean, your variance in the last 5 days, let's go ahead and take from absolute bottom of these 5 to the top, is 4.4%, 4.5%. That's your range in almost 6 days now. Almost 6 days. In 3 hours, it'll be 6 days. So, I mean, like, it's consolidating. There's no doubt about it. And you do have a little bit of a range. But the high of the range itself is right here. Like, that's where we keep hitting our heads. The lower time frames, if you're looking at the 8 hour, the 4 hour, you will see the oscillator's kind of working its way down, but it's not just dumping, right? At least not on the 8 hour. Let's look at the 4 hour here. Y'all like the ticker. Where's the glasses? I always got glasses, bro. Got you, man. Cali shades engaged, bro. Boom. All right. You want shades? You got shades. Let's do it. So looking at the price action right now, like it's just going horizontal. You can see the point of control here, which makes obvious sense that you're going to see the point of control in this area. That's at 84K. On the 4 hour, you do have the dynamic reactor as well as the 200. So you got a squeeze going on right now. You got a squeeze because you got some really significant areas under you on the 4 hour. On the 4 hour. All right. And then you got the value area high, really creating a squeeze here. The oscillator does look like it's starting to push up quite a bit now. It's starting to get that kind of 45-degree angle. But here's the issue. Here's the issue. You got a bunch of resistance over top of you. You got the 200. You got the dynamic reactor. Now, this is the daily. All right. So 4 hours showing you one thing. Daily showing you something different. I would say it's getting ready to bend over a little bit on the daily if you're looking at the oscillator. And you can see it's, again, going horizontal, but you just have all this resistance. Even if we were to break the value area high, I wouldn't jump on board and be like, we're going to the moon. Like, because you have probably the biggest area of horizontal resistance right here. That's indicated by this red box. All right, so anywhere between 88.8, 92.1, 92. There's just a lot of resistance. You got the quarterly pivot up there as well. There's just too much to hit your head on, and that is why the emoji, the poop emoji, remains. All right, he is our line in the sand. What we would like to see happen is we would break that area, and when I say that, you know, break through here, come down, retest, boop, there you go. Well, not that crazy, but that's kind of what I'm looking for in terms of price action. We want to see that bullish momentum in continuation. Then that is what I'll be looking for. Now, that being said, area support down here hasn't changed. 618, top of the previous range. Not going to beat that up. If you guys have been watching, you know it, you love it. And I don't have to rehash it. Now, if we do pull back, which I was anticipating, that's kind of what I put in the Discord. And it's not kind of, this is what I put in the Discord. I was anticipating a pullback, value area low, not the dynamic reactor, but the top of this trend line here, right? So this trend line, top of the channel. Goodness gracious, words today. Hey. Maybe I need something to drink. All right, so retest the top of the channel here, as well as the yearly pivot. There's just a lot of confluence here. So, I mean, with the resistance up here, I could see a move up, clearing out some liquidity, pushing down, and then retesting this area. That just makes a lot of sense to me. So what are we looking for? There's two real key areas if you want to trade. If you want to trade the way I trade, there's two key areas to look at here. And it's right here where my poop emoji is. All right, I think we're likely to get a rejection. Obviously, we'll look for candle closes. What does it do once it interacts with that level? And then down here as support, at the yearly pivot, the value area low, and the top of the trend line here, right? So that's your 2 key areas. And right now we're in the middle. So if you're doing anything in the middle here, you know, you're scalping, you're intraday, you're not swing trading. That's just the bottom line in my eyes. So that's kind of what I'm looking at Bitcoin. Well, how does that correlate to the NASDAQ? Well, glad you asked. Glad you asked. It ain't looking great. All right, dynamic reactor has flipped bearish on the 8-hour, and it came down, right? So price action, obviously off the highs, came down here, very important zone. All right, we did have this identified, had that going for us. Got a good bounce in there. That's all Gucci, but I mean, look at the price action. If you just zoom in on the price action right now, you can see the trend is down and right currently. We haven't had a change of character. We haven't really broken out of this area. We would have to get over all of this nonsense right here for us to feel better about the NASDAQ. Well, during times of uncertainty, what have I said to you? There is a tighter correlation between Bitcoin and the NASDAQ, as well as risk-on assets. You can see tech companies are not doing all that great right now. Nvidia's had a pretty hard fall. Apple, and I know that has a lot to do with the perceived tariffs with China and all that stuff. There goes probably, you know, me getting anybody sent to the channel for saying the 2 magic words. But that's what it is. That's reality, right? So what am I anticipating right now is I think, I say this all the time. We go one of 2 ways, right? But I would lean towards us breaking to the bottom side, and then we would be looking for that retest, right? It kind of stair stepping down. If you look at the price action, look, nice fall, bounce, nice fall, bounce. What's next? You know, I would at least look for a retest of this area. Then we come down to the oscillator. We start looking at that. How do we incorporate this in? Well, we would like to see it working its way up and right. All right, that's the structure that you would like to see down here. In correlation with coming down and retesting the area of about 65.4. Okay, somewhere around that area is where I'd like to see a bounce. I will be interested. Hear me out. I will be interested in taking a long position on the NASDAQ. I know I don't trade it much, but I will be interested if it comes back down to these levels. All right, so there you go. I am anticipating a rejection. Right, you can see it all. You see all the nonsense. You got the golden pocket, the 200, the dynamic reactor, and a horizontal all lined up in one area. What if it doesn't, though? What if we don't get that rejection? That's okay, because we are not in a position right here. We wait for the breakout. All right, breakout, we get above all the nonsense, and this would be quite the opposite if we broke to the upside. So we'd come up here. I think we would hit our heads here on the platinum pocket, come back down, retest for confirmation, and then we would look for that move to the upside, and your next stop would be 78, right? That's the logical area where you would see some sort of rejection or resistance. So this is how we look at things all the time. We always look at 2 different ways to play the game, especially when you're in the middle of a range. Right now, we're getting towards the bottom, so hopefully, you know, we make a move here, so then we have an opportunity to play the game. Right now, I wouldn't take a short. I wouldn't take a long, because we're in the middle. I hope that makes sense. All right. Here's a quick top-down analysis of both Bitcoin and the NASDAQ. Let's go over to the total market cap, which is sitting at 2.67 trillion. That is up 0.45%. Fear and Greed Index currently sitting at 30. Bitcoin is at $85,108. Ethereum is at $1,583. So unfortunately, it's under that 1,600 level. Let's take a look at Ethereum a little bit later, shall we? All right, over to the crypto bubbles. You can see OM's down 9%. Not too surprised to see that. Render's up 9.7. Farcoin down 8.3%. Jasmy down 6. Hey, Jasmy. Bad news on the Jasmy front. I don't know if I have it in my news articles, but it was actually one of the tokens that was voted to be delisted from Binance. No bueno. No bueno. So be ready. Be ready to grab those shorts on Jasmy. All right, you heard it here. Be ready. So if they do get delisted, if it's listed on another exchange that you're part of, I'd probably take a short on that. All right. That is that. You got Tal up 7.5%. I think we talked about Farcoin, and Hype is up 6.7. Don't care about Hex. You can pound sand for all I care. All right. Everything else, nothing too much on the bubbles. Bitunix, you know that is the exchange that I trade on. We are set up and ready to go. I did the old standard 44x leverage, $2,500 a margin, and you can see 1% move to the top side gives us $1,000. 0.3% to the negative side means we will lose 300. All right, so what is that? We risk 300 to win 1,000. That's what we're looking at. That's about a 3-to-1 ratio there. You know, obviously you do what makes sense, right? So if you find a setup, you will adjust on the fly a little bit. TradeFly, you know. All right, go check out the chat real quick. Running my mouth there. Let's see what you guys got to say. We should hit 86K again over the next day or two. That would perfectly logical to hit 86K. No doubt about it. Sitting at 85.1 now, right? And let's, since you said that, let's go over and look at the heat map. Right, heat map, that actually could take you up a little bit higher than 86, right? 86.8, very much in play. You got a hot spot on the map. You can see that the price action is starting to trend its way up and right. It just keeps having issues here with the 85K region, but I think that it makes sense. And that is what I'm anticipating. In the Discord, if you guys look at the TA, I was like, hey, there's room for a move to the upside. The problem is that Bitcoin didn't run as hard in correlation with NASDAQ. So when I posted it, I was looking at the NASDAQ and I was like, all right, you got some room, right? You just got into the resistance area. I think it can move up to the top of that zone, which it did. It got rejected right off the top of the zone that we had identified as a horizontal. And so I thought Bitcoin would run a little bit more and then hit its head, you know, in this area. That's fully what I was anticipating. I got to be transparent with you. I thought we'd come up to the dynamic reactor, the 200, retest that area, really at about 87 at minimum. I thought that was going to be what happened. Go grab the liquidity, hit your head up here. We haven't made that move yet. Well, tomorrow, maybe tomorrow will be that day because trading is closed. Did y'all know that? Trading is closed tomorrow. So maybe we see a run up tomorrow because you don't have a lot of volume, and that kind of opens up the door. And then you kind of, you know, you're not affected by the traditional markets. So we shall see. But DDT, I'm with you, man. I think it makes sense. However, that being said, let's go back to the liquidation heat map. Hotspot on the map, 82,600, 82,650. All right, so that's your hotspot on the map. I don't know that liquidity right now, being that you are in the middle of the liquidity, is going to be a huge driving factor, but know your areas, right? 82.6 is one of them, and then the other one is going to be 86.850. All right, so that is that. And let's go back to the chat. Say what's up to everybody. Al Jr., what's up to you, man? Good to see you. Good to see you in the chat. Let's go. And who else we got? Anyone else that I miss? Scrolling down. I got your glasses. BC Port Corp. What's up, my dude? How you doing, man? We're gonna collab soon. I'm gonna jump on with BC Port Corp. It'll be dope. Yep, lots of liquidity. Got that right. All set. What's up? Wix wife, fine. 8 and 9. I just like saying that. I'm not gonna lie to you. Let's see. Scrolling down a little bit. My dude. Mark Dutch, what's up to you? Listening on mobile, music freaking loud. All right, sorry about that, man. Sorry about that. I will bring it down a little bit for you. There you go. Let me know if that's good, Mark. You and your sensitive ears. I'll talk smack in a place unknown. All right, Kelly, how are you? Win Moon. I don't know. I mean, depends on how you look at things. Maker13, what's up? He said, good evening, TradeFly. Is this your new time slot? Been looking for you on the late night. About to ask Piper OC about you. Well, glad you asked, man. So the issue with me is I have a fluctuating schedule. So I work shift work right now in the military, and I'm just not always available on a consistent basis. That should clear up here soon. I will be working swings and mids, which should open up, I would say, like an afternoon-ish type slot. Once I go back to mids, though, I can start jumping on the evening shows again. So I will try my best. If you're not in the Discord, though, come on over to the Discord. I'm still dropping some TA there. So a lot of times what I'll do, especially if I do a show at a random time, is I'll take some screenshots and just throw them in the Discord. So if you missed it, you can still kind of keep up a little bit. So hope all is well, man. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. We have a value area high. Oh, it's moving on me. Watching at 86. We bounced from the POC of that earlier, just below 84. Yeah, I think I noted the value area high. I did. Yeah, 86. Right at it. Yeah, man. So again, makes perfect sense. Again, there is liquidity up here as well, though. So it would make... Oh, gosh, share my screen. You got me sidetracked. But yeah, grabbing the liquidity, right? So, you know, I know you're a Frankie Candles guy. One of the things that you look for, or he looks for with his analysis, is those swing failure patterns, right? So knowing that we have liquidity here, we already verified that on the heat map. There's two ways to do it, right? You can eyeball this. You can eyeball it. You can see, you know what? Rejection, rejection, rejection. What's happening? Liquidity is building up right here. Easy peasy. That's an assumption, though. But when you go to the heat map, it tells you it's a fact. So you have liquidity up here. And I know one of the things Frankie looks for, just because I watch him every once in a while, you know, I keep up with people and what they do, is you come up, you grab the liquidity, right? So you'll get the wick up. And then after that wick, you come back down and reestablish the range. We have pretty similar trading styles at times. I do mix it up a little bit, but that is one that I am a big fan of. And grabbing liquidity, come back, reestablish the zone underneath of that value area high. That for me would be a short entry. And it's relatively simple. I've done very well with that strategy actually over the past year. And yeah, I know it's a Frankie thing that he uses as well. Matt C, what's up, man? How are you? We gotta catch up, brother. It is almost that time. Bitcoin Vegas time. Let's go. Let's go, my dude. Can't wait to see everybody out there. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Hey, if you guys are going to Bitcoin Vegas, let me know in the chat. Let me know. Hit me up. I would love to see you guys out there and meet you. That'd be super, super cool. I'm trying to get some swag. I'm gonna see. I was gonna go through Printify, but I just didn't like their gear, man. Like everything, it just didn't seem nice. So I want to do it right. Have some nice. I don't know. I'm not gonna say form fitting. Like I ain't gonna look like I'm in an extra medium or anything, but I do want to have kind of like some nice shirts that kind of hug you a little bit. Nicer material, that jersey, jersey cotton type material. I want to get some stuff like that. And then I'm going to hit up my man from In and Out Crypto, because yo, the hoodie that I have, I love that hoodie. So I want that material. I'm going to talk to him. Maybe I'll talk to Rocco. Maybe we can figure something out. That would be a lot of fun. All right. Here we go. B Team Crypto. Dude, like, what is my deal today? I'm going to drink of water because I can't talk. I think maybe I've been looking at a computer too long today. Doing taxes, applying for loans. I've been doing nothing but looking at the darn computer. Who?
Beto Gomez subscribed to the channel.
What's up, man? I got a little sub there. I like how that pops up. That's dope. Well, Mr. Gomez, thank you. I appreciate the sub. Much appreciate it. And I just got completely sidetracked. Oh, Vegas. Let me know if you're going to be in Vegas. All right. Here we go. B Team Crypto. What is up to you, dude? Good to see you. Oscar Johnson. Hopefully I said that correct. Good evening. Good evening to you, sir. Good evening. OC guy is doing a great job. OC is a beast, bro. Like, if y'all don't know, he has an engineering background, and like he is like the lead instructor for ChartPrime. Like, dude is a stud. No doubt about it. I love OC, and he's a great guy. That being said, Maker, I think you might not realize I am doing my own channel now. So I do have my own Discord as well now. I mean, Piper Academy, we're all cool. Like, we're bros. But I'm also doing my own thing now. So just want to let you know that. So you will see a little bit more of me. So come over to the Discord, support me. That'd be dope. All right. Let's see who we got. King DJ in the house. Oh, Buck's a wild man. Frankie Kindles. I don't know. I'm struggling with talking today, man. Don't worry about me. Yeah, Massey, I'll hit you up, dude. All right. Scrolling. You buying the beer? Buck, for you, I will buy you a beer, bro. And you can hold me to it. I will buy you a beer. All right, here we go. Let's do this. I think I've caught up with all the chat. So we've talked about Bitcoin. We have talked about the NASDAQ. We've talked about the correlation there. We've beat up the value area high. Let's go ahead and start looking at some other... Did we do news? Y'all got me. We didn't do the news yet, did we? We did not. Or the economic calendar. Here we go. Let's get over to it. You got building permits. That was today. 1.482. That is above consensus and above forecast. All right. Housing starts. 1.324. That was below consensus and below forecast. Durable goods month over month and existing home sales will go on Thursday the 24th. Not even going to worry about it. You got to wait for that. All right. We like to look at these just to see what kind of volatility is going on. I am not your dude for the economic calendar. My man Piper is your dude for that. He's a beast. Go check him out in the morning show. Let's go over to the news. President Trump says the U.S. will make a deal with China. So that could have been the reason for a little bit of a pop today on the NASDAQ. It did go back up to the upper range of the resistance area we had been looking at. But since then, post-market, it has begun to fall. All right. So could have been short-lived. And that is why, like, I'm not super bullish right now. I know you heard me. I've been saying it probably about 3-4 days, maybe more. I think it might have been last week. Like, hey, we saw all these people being like, oh, bullish breakout. Yeah, cool. Yeah, you broke the trend, but you had all the resistance still ahead of you or above you. So it wasn't super bullish. But, you know, making a deal with China, that's good news. They're our biggest trade partner. There's no doubt about that. All right, you know what we got to do here. Sound the siren. Bring on our second guest, Mr. Elmer Fudd. All right, foreign investors are dumping U.S. stocks at a rapid pace. Investors from overseas withdrew approximately $6.5 billion from U.S. equity funds over the last week, the second largest amount on record. Let it sink in. The second largest amount on record. Are they bullish on the U.S.? All right, net outflows were only below the $7.5 billion seen during the March 2023 banking crisis. There is your FUD segment. I hope you live in fear and drink a lot of beer tonight, thinking about overseas investors. All right. I think we talked about the heat map here. Let's go ahead and start hitting some altcoins and yeah, send you guys on your way. You know what? USDT dominance. We said we were going to talk about that. Let's talk about that first. All right, USDT dominance been getting lots of love, all right? Lots of love here recently from a lot of the creators. And it does have a nice inverse correlation. I've been looking at it more and more, just trying to, you know, analyze it. I think the last time we talked about it was right around here on the show. And I was like, hey, man, like it's getting close. Could see a breakout or we could see that bounce. And unfortunately, we got the bounce, which inverse correlation at that point took the price action for Bitcoin down, has since kind of recovered. We are now retesting the bottom area. So what does this mean? Like, this is actually a bearish pattern. If you are a pattern person, this would be a bearish pattern. Now, I want to explain when people say bullish and bearish on these patterns, like we've been in this pattern for a really long time, since what, January? So to call this really bearish when you break out up here, like look at the percentage difference. Like, I just want you to understand it is up 48%. It's just technically supposed to break to the downside out of the pattern. I don't know how bearish that is, to be honest with you. 48% later, and we'll move maybe what? Let's measure that. Let's say we come down to the dynamic reactor. 8%, 9%. Anyways, so the expectation would be at some point we break out. Look for that, right? Look for that on USDT. We break out, maybe we get a little retest of the area. So we come back up, boom, and then we make that move down. Maybe the dynamic reactor works its way up 200 if you're into that kind of thing on USDT dominance. you know, you could see a move like that where it breaks out and moves down a little bit, 8-9%, right? So that would be enough to open up the door for what? Why are we watching it? Again, an inverse correlation, right? So you could see Bitcoin make a move if we finally break out of this channel. You could get an aggressive move. Here's the scary part. This could be a reversal because the trend is your friend until the end. We're still in this channel. If it respects this channel again and begins to move its way up, then that means price action is likely to come back down. So we're not in the middle of this. All right. This isn't a game of us saying like, hey, we've retested, we got a clear rejection. We're there right now. So high alert. Keep your eyes on this trend line right here. This might give you an idea of which way we're going to go. So there you go. That's USDT dominance in a nutshell. Let's go. Let's look at Cardano. Been looking at Cardano a little bit here as of late. All right. So these are mostly horizontals. The thing about Cardano right now is you can see dynamic reactor is bearish. It's under the 200, well under the 200. And you have a horizontal level of resistance right now. So for me to kind of get excited about Cardano, like I'm going to want to see it get over that zone. Yeah, that's a little move, right? You're talking about 70 cents. But you're in the middle of a range, man. So it's really hard for me to say like, yeah, ape into Cardano. This would be the area. Like if we come back down for a wick and retouch the 55 cent area, which remember, we gave you this one. All right, 55 cents. I had a straight horizontal at 55 cents for the longest time on Cardano, straight up to this area of resistance. I mean, that play right there is worth 18 cents. I mean, 18%. Oh my God. It's one of those days. Yeah, 18 cents, man. If you've put in 1 cent, it is worth 18 cents. That is no lie. See, I do speak the truth. All right. So that was a decent little move here. The problem is right now is we really haven't broken the structure. You can see the trend is clearly down and right. So it's just a matter of like, yeah, you're going to get bounces. You're going to get these little relief rallies and things of that nature. That's all part of the game. You got to understand that, but we truly haven't broken out. All right. So for me to be comfortable with taking a position on Cardano, and that's even going to be short-lived just because the correlation of the 200, the dynamic reactor is right over top of this area. You know, that's what's this move going to be? Let's say we break out, we get a little retest. That's only a 7% move. So that would be one I would definitely use a little bit of leverage on. But again, I'm not going to get super crazy about this right now being in the middle. You're more likely to look for a short, understanding that your trend is down and right. And you can see the RSI, the prime oscillator, losing momentum, and it is trending down and right. I mean, short's probably the better play right now to take it back down to this area here, which is kind of your buy zone, which is 55 cents to about 50 cents. Where does that come from? Just go back up on the chart, man. Easy peasy. If it loses this area, game on. Because you can see right here, not a lot of volume, right? You had a pretty quick move up. I mean, there's a little volume here as it was working its way down in a bear market, but once it shot up, man, it pumped. So I don't know, you know, it's going to be a little harder to find your areas. I mean, I would say maybe at about 43 cents, right? Because you can see it was pretty clear support, a little bit of resistance there. Never even made it back up, but 43 cents might be a pit stop. But here nor there, you do not want to lose that zone. Could get really weird for Cardano pretty quick. See some aggressive moves. All right, so there's 2 spots for you on Cardano. Let's go over to the chat real quick. Breakouts, 9 to 10 will be a fake out. Yes and no. It depends on the time frame. I will say that I've been trading breakouts mostly scalping recently, and it's been quite effective, to be honest with you. So what I'll do, I'll find on these smaller time frames like the 5 minute or the 3 minute, I'll find these little trends. And I just did this, I believe, last week. Something like this. All right. Ain't perfect, but you can see comes up, retest, and then goes. Let's see. I wish I could find one that I actually used. And these things are just, you can see up and right and then off, and away. But I mean, you can use them, man. Like, it really depends on the time frame. I would say the one we just had for Bitcoin, we just broke out. That was not a fake out. Let's see. It's hit and miss, man. I'm not a big breakout trader. I will say on the smaller time frames, I have had some success here recently. And it's really, you'll see this like really like tight move where it's so clear that there's resistance or support. But right here, I mean, this is a breakout. I mean, in my eyes, breakout retest. Didn't do much, but I don't know that I'd call it a fake out. Like right here. Kind of see that. Breakout, retest, and up. Now, knowing what we know, value area high is up there. I mean, that's what, it's not much of a move. 3.7%. And of course, what's our range? Only like 4% here over the last like 6 days. But I don't know. I mean, it just depends on like how much leverage you're using. You know, 3% move, 3x leverage, 5x leverage is a nice little trade. All right. Cool beans. Let's go. Let's look at ETH. I did want to look at ETH. Sent you a link in DMs for a clothing company I used before. Right on, dude. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Will USDT reverse before Bitcoin? Does it give you a heads up for Bitcoin's reversal? I think it's going to move at the same time, to be honest with you. I don't think one is a precursor for the other. And what are we seeing right now? Like, you're at a pretty key level for Bitcoin and you're at a pretty key level for USDT, right? So I would say USDT is really at the more critical like level in terms of like, it doesn't really have much room to run. Like it's at support technically right now. We can go back. We'll rehash it since you asked the question. Let me find it real quick. So that's market cap. Oh, there we go. I'm just on a different time frame. That's why it looked weird. I was like, what? So you can see, like, it's just riding support right now. And what I'm saying is like, hey, if we break out, like that could be an indicator that we could get a little pop for Bitcoin. But how far is it going to roll or run really? You know, it's tough because Bitcoin's at resistance. That's where I have like a kind of a hesitation with it. Like let's say that like we broke out like down here somewhere and we go to the charts and we're looking at Bitcoin and it's like, oh, you got a lot of room to run because you don't have that horizontal level of resistance over top of you. You don't have the 200-day over top of you. Like then you can be like, oh, okay, like this could be something. So let's do this. Let's just kind of clear up this point here. Let's go to Bitcoin. Let's go to... Let's see where USDT dominance was at on the 8th of April. All right, 8th of April. Let's remember that. And 8th of April. Let's see where it's at. There you go. Right there. So you see that correlation now, right? You see how this kind of went up and you got a little bit of that double top action and it was kind of prime. It's really tough to even say it was prime for a reversal because it didn't even make it up to the top part of the channel, to be real with you. But it's not going to be perfect. If you took a horizontal, you could say, yeah. But anyways, you can see, like, once this thing bent over and started moving in the other direction, so did price action for Bitcoin. So this dumped, and price action for Bitcoin pumped. So we go back to 8th of April, you can see up and right. The thing that I'm scared about right now is just that there's not a lot of room to run. So like, let's say Bitcoin breaks out, or not even breaks out. Let's just say it gets over the value area high. Let's say that gets over the value area high. You're likely to hit your head because this is a strong area of resistance. I know it's like hard to classify to be like, hey, what's strong and what's weak? I just go back left and like look at how many times you saw this hold up as support and what ultimately was the area we retested before we broke down. Right here. This red box is the area that we retested before we actually broke down. And then we came up and tried it again. Nope. So, I mean, this area is legit. So even if we get a breakout on Bitcoin dominance, am I like super bullish of Bitcoin breaking out? Not really. To be real with you, like this, when I'm telling you, like I'm being reals with you, I am looking for this before I really say, hey, everything's back on for Bitcoin. If I do not see this, then I'm not going to be bullish. Like I'm not saying everything's over, doom and gloom. Like I'm not even saying the bull market is over, but like I can't turn bullish until I see us break this significant area of resistance right now. Look, you want to get all this junk underneath of you. You don't want it on top of you on the daily. Like that's no bueno. And like here, this kind of certifies the look-see right here too. I mean, like, yeah, we had a little breakout for Bitcoin, but channel down and right for Bitcoin. What do you see for USDT? Channel, maybe an ascending broadening wedge, if you want to call it that. You can move this down a little bit. Maybe just take the median of the highs, and then it looks like a channel. Right, so we're in pretty similar spots. Just inverse. So that's why I'm like, hey, this area is kind of key right now, because if we get a bounce for USDT dominance, and you're likely to see a rejection for Bitcoin, and I don't even know that one would precede the other. It's just knowing where it's at in the channel. That's really all you can do. One's at resistance, one's at support. What's the odds? Odds are probably, you know, a bounce for USDT and a rejection for Bitcoin would be, I'd say, the odds. But be on the lookout for this. If you see this, then cool, like things could change. All right. Let's see what we got here. Uh-oh. Talking about a tuxedo t-shirt, huh? I want my baby Jesus to wear a tuxedo t-shirt. Because it's like formal, but it says, I'm here to party. All right. Let's see what we got. I'm anti-breakout and pattern, but I'm a snipe and knife catcher. All about the entry and risk to reward for me. Yeah, no, I get it. I am not a big breakout person. Not huge on patterns either. One pattern I do like, though, I've had success with is ascending triangles. I do like ascending triangles going into an area of resistance. And really, that just gives me an indication that I'm going to see the breakout. And then it keys me in that like, okay, cool, we have an ascending triangle going in. And then I'm looking forward to breakout retest. I'm big on the breakout retest. That's kind of my jam. But the ascending triangle is usually a precursor for me to know that I might have a potential entry coming, if that makes sense. All right. Here we go. So I check USDT dominance sometimes. I'm not huge on USDT dominance. Like, it's just getting some run lately. So I was like, all right, I'll talk about it. But I mean, it's simple. Like, it's in a channel going up. Bitcoin's in a channel going down. Like, do we need one to get a feel for the other? If they're literally at almost the same points in a channel just going opposite directions. I can see the same thing on price action with Bitcoin. I don't know. Anyways, I'll throw it out if you want me to. 100K soon, man. Yeah, duh. Let's go. All right, that's that. You know what? Let's go ahead and put you guys on the Soul Train. I don't think we've talked about that in, I think, a couple of days. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. All right, here we go. Looking at Solana. All right, yeah, kind of in the middle of the range. Really, we're actually starting to test some resistance right now. So this could be cool. Solana making a little bounce. You guys know, oh, you need the chart. You need the chart. We had a beautiful call on Solana. I mean, perfection. I'm not going to beat it up, but damn, if I ain't call it. All right, so what are we looking at right now? Resistance. We want to get on top of that. You know, same. Get on top of the resistance, breakout, retest, up, and away you go. Change a character, make that stuff official. I almost slipped. Buck would have been proud of me. But you just come back left on the chart here and you're like, hey, where's the bulk of the price action? You can see it. Right? So what do we do down here? What happened? One, we got flooded down, and then there was liquidity down here. So that's why I was so big on it. Remember, I gave you the whole spiel about bounce. What happens? Liquidity. Say it 5 times fast. Liquidity. All right, so liquidity built up here, and it was ripe for the taking. I was very confident. And you had a naked point of control, a psychological area of 100. I'm just saying. This one was too easy. Too easy, all right? So once it got up to about, I want to say like 130-ish. Well, I said take profits here, and I would recommend closing here. That's kind of where I was at. Now we play the waiting game for Solana. So cool, had a banger, right? Let's measure that out. Banger 33%. I ain't mad. So now what? We wait. There's resistance. Like, wait, let it break out and retest the area and see if we can get that continuation up and right. Then cool, like game on, we can play again. This is how you protect yourself. All right, I know a lot of people want to hold through everything, and you can ladder into a position. Now, I did that with Solana. But if you're trading actively, then secure your profits, lock it in, take it to the piggy bank, and then wait to play once you see the setup again. Wait for the next setup, because what could happen? Trump says the wrong thing, and all of a sudden we're sitting back down here at $100, and you're like, damn. 33% gone. All right, so if you're swing trading, this is it. This is it right here. Like, go ahead, take your profits. And then you look for this. So we get on top of about 140 or so, then we can take another chance, take another opportunity. Well, what happens if it breaks down? Let's say someone does say something dumb. Cool. We just do this in the opposite direction. Breakout retest. We'll look at somewhere around 120 to 126. Comes back in the zone for the retest. Get some bearish candles coming out of there. Reestablish underneath of it. Boom. We'll take it down to the point of control. Psychological area of 100. All day. All day. All right. That's Solana. Super quick move with that. But you can see on the 4 hour, we are getting our first signs of a bullish trend. Ain't seen that for a while. That's been since January. So there you go. All right, that's Solana. Let's see. Checking out the chat real quick. See what you got. I'm killing my own reputation. I can only imagine what you're doing there, Dutch. I don't read charts. Charts read me. There you go, man. There you go. Crypto Princess, what's up, lady? Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Go check her out. She is another fellow content creator. She does great work. She does a lot of interviews, and she does really well with those. So definitely go check her out. She has her own Discord as well. Go head over there. Drop a link if you got it. There you go. Alexandra G, man, she's always on it. She's got the link. SOI bounced off naked point of control at, or is it Soul? Little L. Bounced off naked point of control at around 95, just swept and bounced. Yeah, brother. That's what I was literally just talking about. Right here. Right here. Psychological area of 100, naked point of control. That's oh, Gotta share the screen again. That's I made that call. Put that in Alex O's Discord. I believe my Discord may not have been up yet. I think it was in Tom Crown's Discord, but yeah, it's probably one of my better calls here recently, was this area, which was pretty dope, man. It was a nice move. Actually, I think this was the first one I put in Alex O's Discord. Let's look. Let's go TradeFly trades. You guys don't know I am in Alex O's Discord. Let's go. Let's scroll. Here it is. On March 13th. What are we at? That was a month ago. All over this thing. Potential soul setup. Currently started to lather. Yeah, not lather. Ladder. Anyways, at key levels, but I see potential move to $100 in an attempt to grab some liquidity. Kind of talked about that. Psychological area and previous point of control of the range. Put that in a month ago, bro. There you go. So this is kind of how, like, if you're not actively looking at the charts all the time, it's kind of how you get ahead of it, right? Like, you got to identify these key levels and look at things like a naked point of control or, you know, a psychological area. And then you can try to kind of figure out where or why price would go there. Liquidity is a really big thing for me. I would say that liquidity is the biggest driver for me saying where I think price action will go. When Bitcoin went to 50K or just under 50K, why was I screaming for that? Liquidity. So one of my big sayings, know where the liquidity is, or you are the liquidity. Let that sink in. Know where it is, or you are the liquidity. And you don't want to be the liquidity. All right. So that was the big thing with Sol, was under that 121 area. I knew that there was liquidity down there, a lot of liquidity, and it had to be taken. The exchanges aren't happy. The maker's not happy until they get your money. Once they get your money, then what happens? It's like literally rinse and repeat. This is what they do. They take your money. Once your money's taken, there's no more liquidity to chase. There's no more money there's no incentive for them to drive the price in any direction. And then institutional or big money comes into the game. The price goes up. Then retail reacts to the price going up because they're like, oh, okay, we're going to get that bounce. And then price will go up again, right? This is when you start thinking about the Elliott wave theory, right? You get that first move up, right? And then you get a little bit of a pullback, and then you get the third wave up, which is the bigger wave, right? That's typically, I'd say that at least the later half of that move is probably retail. All right, getting in, getting excited. And then the fifth wave, right? You get another little pullback. And then the fifth wave is pretty much all retail. Fifth wave, almost all retail. What happens then? ABC correction. They dump it on your face. And what else probably happened in that move? In the fifth wave, they were probably grabbing liquidity again, because there was shorts that had been left or people entered into short positions. So you get that next move up, clear out the liquidity, and back down you go. And you can play that both ways. I don't know. Not a big Elliott wave theory guy, but I try to make sense of it. And that's what's logical to me. Could be off. Lathered up Sol. Yeah. I did, man. I did. I lathered it up. Gosh. That's what happens when you work crazy nights, bro. Like, shift work is not for the weak. All right, I'm thinking about getting a house with a white picket fence. I can only imagine what I am about to read from username. Sometimes I have to question myself for reading them. Live the wholesome 50s life. Straight edge for life. All right, that wasn't so bad. My best one to date I didn't take was yesterday's sweet bounce. FML. Dude, it happens, man. I've missed quite a few of my own calls. sometimes I'm not available. I can't take my phone into work with me sometimes. So unfortunately, it is what it is. I don't feel comfortable with just always leaving something and like set it and forget it. So I like to see kind of the reaction, and I just end up missing quite a bit of the trades. But you guys should take advantage. There's no doubt about it. All right. Let's do one more, and then we'll get out of here for the night. See if I missed anything in the chat. All right. Nothing too crazy. All right. There we go. Back to the charts. Gosh, let's do something I haven't like looked at all recently. Do we look at, oh man, I know something I said, not something we haven't looked at. I didn't talk about ETH though yet, did I? Let's just talk about ETH. French Toaster, what's up, bro? Good to see you, man. What level would you short Jasmy? I would short the news if Binance delists it. I wouldn't even worry about a level. Honestly, I would just short it. That's bad news for Jasmy. Let's see here. All right, so we talked about this. It hasn't even moved out of the range, man. Everything's kind of like ranging, consolidating. This little zone right here, I called it a zone of interest, right? I did not mark this. It was green at one point. All right, full transparency. But I think a couple days ago, if you guys were watching, I was like, you know what? I don't feel great about ETH. I just don't. I am not invested in it. So let me be fully transparent. I don't plan to invest in it. I do not plan to buy it. I do not plan to buy this. But from a technical perspective, I would anticipate some price action to the upside for ETH. That's what I'll say. All right. You did have point of control here, previous range. The 0.786 from a macro fib retracement. All right. So literally from bear market to low to the high of, we'll say, the current cycle. You have the platinum pocket. All right. 0.786. This is a nice area. You should see a bounce in correlation with point of control. And you did get a little bit of price action, but not a lot. The other thing I talked about too, and I remember talking about this, was liquidity. Why did I think there was liquidity down here? Well, right here. So what you do is you look at, hey, okay, like we got a bounce, second bounce, tertiary bounce, and then price action went up and right. What you'll see, like if you were looking at the liquidity heat map, let's get this out. I don't want you to see, oh, let me go back. All right, I don't want you to see the dip down. And this is a teaching moment. So as you're right here in price action, let's say you're right here, the liquidation heat map would kind of look like that. All right. As the price action goes up, continues going up, well, then it gets hotter and hotter. All right. So more liquidity starts coming in. More stop losses get put here. More leverage long positions. Like, people are smart enough that what they'll do is they'll put their liquidation area below the last area of support. Like, there's other traders out there. I mean, retail is not completely out to lunch. So as price action continues to work its way up, liquidity continues to come in. What happens? We come down, we grab the liquidity, and now the liquidity is gone. All right. So liquidity has been cleared out. We came back, we reestablished the range. All right, these are all things that we want to see when you get over top of the point of control, you get back into the zone right here. Like, that's, I mean, it's pretty primo, like in terms of what you want to see. The issues I have is what I've talked about before is Ethereum just has not kept pace, like, whatsoever. Ethereum is not looking good. I think it's losing market share. I think less people are just using it altogether. So, you know, what you would like to see is, again, back to it. We would like to see a breakout retest of the area. Okay, so that's kind of what I'd be looking for Ethereum. But like, again, you have to break this area here. I mean, at least 17, I'd say 50 or so. Move up to the golden pocket is a 15% move, and that's a really, really nice trade. But don't get carried away with Ethereum thinking you're just going to ride this thing up to the moon from here. Like, I am not suggesting that at all. I am not. So just understand that. Like, I'm saying, hey, breakout retest up to this area. Nice little key horizontal. Nice 15% banger. Walk away, smile, and we look for the next setup. Now, you're like, well, you know, what if it runs again? Cool, bro. Like, you can do a breakout retest all the way up. Like, you can stair step this thing all the way up. You don't have to be exposed all the time. Will you miss some of the moves? Yes. You will miss some of the moves because you will not get a retest. You will just get a strong impulse move to the upside. Got it. Yes, that happens. That's okay. That is okay. All right. So it's kind of what I'm looking at Ethereum. I know other people are doing some fancy patterns, and you know, they think this is a good area to get into, right? If you look at the patterns, I guess it's kind of played out, the harmonics. Not really my thing. All right. So, all right, that's Ethereum. Good. I'll say there's a potential opportunity there for a little breakout to the top side, but I mean, that being said, you could see a move down to the 887 as well. And same thing, just look for the breakout retest. You're in a zone, right? If you're in a zone, then you look out for that breakout retest to either way. So, all right, that is Ethereum. Let's see, we got French Toaster in the house. So I just bought some ribeyes. All right, my man, he knows where he's at. It's the rib chat. Who hates Irish people? That's unfortunate. All right. ETH bearish on low time frame. ETH bearish altogether, bro. You find me something that says that ETH's not bearish. It's just bearish, bro. It would have to make such an extravagant move for me to even like rethink ETH. I would say you would have to at least get over the golden pocket before I would even think about saying, all right, maybe I'll take a position on ETH. This is just ugly. Granted, I got it. Like, it can bounce from here. I fully understand that. But it also could not bounce here. So why not just take the momentum and take, you know, once it shows you that it's ready to make that move again, and you save yourself from this continuation, because right now the trend is down and right, and it's not even an argument for ETH. I feel bad too, because my buddy, I exited right here on this first one, and we got to this one right here, and I was like, yo, dump your shit. Sorry, excuse my language. I was like, 4K. I thought it was a wrap, man. And you had 3 opportunities. Those are the ones that hurt. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. I dumped because I was like, hey, I came back left on the charts. I was like, here you go. You had resistance, kind of the median between these ranges here. You could see support in this area as well. So there was like a little zone for me. And 4K was just a psychological area. I didn't have a lot of TA for why I did it. It's just I had a really nice move up. I bought a 1600. So 1600, I think when it broke out here, somewhere in that area, maybe a little higher. Maybe it was 1680 or so. But yeah, I don't know. That is ETH. What else we got here in the chat? Bottom of the Eastern toaster. Always remember. I don't even know what you're talking about. I feel like I got rug pulled. All right. I think talking hockey. Hey, only hockey I want to hear about is Washington Capitals, baby. Let's go. Ovi breaking records and going to the playoffs. Let's go. All right. I'm going to get out of here. It's been real. I hope everybody enjoyed the show today. If you did, like, subscribe, come on over to the Discord, trade with me on Bitunix. That is in the chat. All right. So I pinned it to the chat. Save 10% on all trading fees. Spot, futures, for life. This is not a good deal for a temporary amount of time. This is, you will save 10%. Now, the good deal for a temporary amount of time is like you have till, I believe, I'm gonna have to look that up. I believe it's the end of April. And then this is gone. I'm gonna look. I always forget the actual date. Where did I put it? I got a trading folder here somewhere. There it is. And of course it's not in there. It must be in the YouTube folder. There it is. All right. 30 April. Yep. End of April. And so you guys can get, there's little like, if you deposit X amount, you'll get money back, but that's not where the money's at. Like, yeah, you'll get a little bag. You could get up, I think, over $500 for depositing, but the money is in the trading fees. That's where it's at. Save on trading fees and save on them for life. That's the deal. All right, cool. April 30th, that's when that ends. And then Tangem, save you 10% on that too. So there you go. There's all my affiliates and sponsors and all that good stuff. You guys have a good one. I'm going to get out of here. Hope you have a great night. As always, trade safe, be safe, and I'm out.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.